Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that all bell notification. In that way you won't miss any time I publish a new video. All right, so what are we going to be doing today? Well, today we'll be doing something very interesting. I'm going to take you along on a little journey from garden to plate. So I'm going to be making a garden salad, and the produce that I'm going to be using is produce that I harvested from my garden. So I'm going to take you along on that journey from the seedling, from when they were young to as they keep growing and so forth, and then finally harvesting and then to my plate. So let's get started. And then we have this garden bed here that is now all cleaned up and ready for a new season of planting. Okay guys, so I went to the nursery and I got some plants that I'm going to now transplant into my garden. Some tomatoes. Okay, and over here we have the tomatoes that I planted. So you can see the size of them. They are coming along nicely. Okay guys, so my tomato plants, as you can see, it's getting big. So what I'm going to do is use some ties and tie them onto the stakes that I have here. So this is them here. Let's hope that they don't get a disease and die. Right, let's look at the progress of our tomatoes. So guys, you can see the tomato trees are getting big. Look at it. Isn't that wonderful? Remember the last video I showed you guys? Well, these are the tomato trees now. So my tomato trees here, I'm going to trim the lower limbs that are closer to the soil. I'm going to cut those limbs off. Now tomatoes are getting big. And this here's my little tomato and sweet basil patch. You see what I did here, guys? I planted sweet basil in between the tomatoes because they say they are good companion plants. So I have some young tomatoes here next to the more mature ones. Okay guys, as you can see, our cucumbers have germinated. Let's take a look at our tomatoes here. Let's put on the zoom. Okay, so we have one tomato here. I see another one here. This is how I hand pollinate it. All right, let's look for, I see another tomato here. You guys see that? So we have one here, and I can see that these are going to get as well. There's a baby one here. Just make sure we hand pollinate it. I see a baby one in the back here as well. I see some over here. Can you see that? Let me see if I can see. There you go. Have some there. Here, my Chinese cabbage, they have germinated, except this one. This one and this one, oh, actually 1, 2, 3 have not germinated, but all the others have germinated. So these two, I'm going to transplant them now into pots, bigger pots. Using these leaves, these dried leaves that fell off the tree as mulch is really helping to retain the moisture in the pots. Alright, I have some fertilizer that I'm going to sprinkle around this and just turn up the soil a little bit. So let me get that. This is just some plant food granules for tomatoes and vegetables. So I'm just going to put some in here just to give it a little extra nutrients. I have been watering it with a fish fertilizer. Alright, so now it's in its new home. That's one. Trying to cover it back with the leaves. Alright, there you go. So one is in its new home. Now we're going to put this one in its new home now. Put it on this side. In case you're wondering why I'm putting it to the edge, it's because I'm thinking in case I want to put another plant in, I can have them share. So that's why I'm putting it more to the edge, in case I want to put another plant in. I guess I could stay like that, whatever. Over you back. This is my Chinese cabbage. So I'm going to wait for them to get a little bigger before I transplant it into some big pots. Here we have the cucumber plants. Remember we transplanted them into the pots. Well, as you can see, they're getting big. So I'm going to have to try to help it to start to run on this lattice here by training the tendrils. Okay, so we have the cucumber getting big. And as you can see, we have tomatoes on them. So we have some tomatoes. You can see in the back there. You can see in the back there. You can see over here. We have some tomatoes. Yeah. So this is the progress of the tomatoes. Okay guys, so I have some Chinese cabbage here that I've decided I will pot up because I don't like how it was looking this morning, so I've decided I'm going to pot it up. Right. Oh no, my little stick here broke. I think I'm going to bottom water these because I noticed some of them, the bottom of it was extremely dry. So I'm just going to soak this container here and just allow them to soak in some of the water from the bottom. But I hope they continue to do well because like I said, yesterday they were not looking good, and maybe because the bottom of their roots got dried out. So let's hope that they catch themselves. But as you can see, they're getting big, and very soon I'm going to transplant them into some pots. So these are Chinese cabbage here. This is my cucumbers. You can see how they have gotten big. Looks good. Our tomatoes on this side here. I find this tomato here looks like it's starting to ripen. Okay guys, so I have some Chinese cabbage that I want to plant in here. And I'm going to actually plant 2 Chinese cabbage in this pot here. Okay, so let's make a hole here. What is this in here? Oh, I left my scissors over there. All right, so we're going to make a hole here. All right, hopefully that's good. We're going to put 1 in here. Get it straight. There's a worm. Right, so we have 1 Chinese cabbage in. And I'm going to put the other Chinese cabbage here. Right, there you have it. All right, guys, so our, oh, there's a baby centipede. Don't know if I got it. Anyway, so we got our Chinese cabbage in. So I'm here in my garden to check out a few things. We're going to look at the Chinese cabbage that I transplanted. Guys, so as you can see, I transplanted my Chinese cabbages into these pots. So I have these here, I have these here, and I have these here. So these are all my Chinese cabbages transplanted. This is my cucumber plants. As you can see, they are looking nice and healthy. And I notice I'm seeing young, let me see if I can get that. I'm seeing young cucumbers here. Did I see any over here? Yeah, well, I am actually seeing some there. Look at another one here as well. So this is a good sign because it looks good and I'm seeing cucumbers coming. So if you look at the fruit here, you can see this here. It's called a radial split. Well, it hasn't split as yet, but I'm seeing that. Where is it gone? There you are. It hasn't split as yet, but this is a sign that it wants to split right here. So I'm seeing it here and I'm seeing it behind there, right? So before that happens, I will harvest it now, and I will just put it, like I said, on the windowsill so that it can ripen that way. So by doing this here, I'm picking it now before it splits, I will save it from actually splitting. Over here I have my tomatoes, so I'm going to pick this one because I noticed like it wants to split. I'll pick that one. There's a tomato here. I'm going to go ahead and pick it. All right. Okay guys, so I decided that I'm not going to wait for my Chinese cabbage to get very big, but I'm going to harvest it now. Well, not all of it. Harvest what I want to use now to cut up to eat. So let's see, which one should we go with? All right, let's go with this one. Actually, you know what? I should have left the root in. Hold on, let me just clip it at the bottom. By simply cutting the root and leaving it in, what will happen is that it will rot and go back to the soil. So it's like you continue feeding the soil that way. Okay guys, so let's do a little garden harvest. I am going to harvest this cucumber. It's not fully developed, but I will harvest it nevertheless. So we have this cucumber here. Okay, so here I have my Chinese cabbage. So what we're going to do is cut it up. I'm going to add it to our bowl here. I already rinsed out everything. So we're going to chop up our Chinese cabbage. Chinese cabbage, fresh from the garden. Okay, we have cucumber that was harvested today as well, fresh from the garden. Okay, again, because I grew this cucumber and I know that the skin wasn't sprayed, I will eat the skin because it's an organic cucumber. All right, again, we have tomato from our garden, or tomato, whatever you prefer to say. All right, so here we have our garden produce, fresh from the garden, from garden to plate. Well, this is not a plate, this is a bowl. All right, so we have that here. Now what we're going to do is make a simple dressing for this. Okay, so let me get this over here. We're going to make a simple dressing. Okay, so to make our dressing, I'm going to put some olive oil here. I'm not measuring, I'm just going to eyeball this, okay? So I'm going to put some olive oil in here. Doing a little extra dressing. Oh, come on, can't get this open. Oh my goodness. I'm going to put some balsamic vinegar. Okay, I'm going to put some honey. I'm going to put a little bit of Italian seasoning blend. And I need to get a pinch of salt. pinch of salt. 2 pinches. All right, let me just taste this. See if I need to add any more balsamic vinegar. Oh, honey. Let me see. Let me add a little more of the vinegar, a touch. Just a touch more of the vinegar. Okay. All right, I think that's good. All right, so now we have our dressing here, nice simple dressing for our garden salad, okay? So what we will simply do is we can just, we're going to take our spoon like this and just drizzle some of the dressing on it. All right, we'll stir it up when we're ready to eat. And now just to top it off, let's head back into the garden and get some parsley so we can just garnish the top with some parsley. All right, so I have some parsley here. Let me just pick some of it so we can add to our garden salad. Yes, should be good. You know what? Why not add some spring onions to it too? Yes, I see some lying down here. So let's get some spring onions to add to it, because why not? There you go. And you know what? Let's also add some of this romaine lettuce to it as well, because why not? Yes. Might as well use it, right? All right, so we're going to add these to our garden salad. All right, so what we're going to do is cut up the spring onion here and the parsley. All right, the romaine lettuce. I'm just going to kind of chop it up a little bit as well, the bite size. All right, so let's bring back our bowl. Okay, so we're just going to put the romaine lettuce here. All right, just kind of bring up some of the tomatoes on top. All right. Okay, and now we're going to sprinkle the parsley and the thyme on top here like this. Right, well, there you have it, folks. Let's bring up again the tomato, because we like that burst of red color looks nice, right? So let's put that where we can see it. Right. All right, so there you have it, folks. A salad that was made with ingredients from our garden. So that's why I always encourage you guys to do gardening, because the feeling you get when you're able to go outside and go into your garden and pick things so that you can eat, it's a really wonderful feeling.